What a crazy morning in the markets. We have Bitcoin absolutely pumping right now. We have alts ripping. It is a wonderful day to be in crypto right now. And today I'll be showing you an amazing new strategy that I just discovered on Luna that is going to revolutionize the way you think of liquid staking. It's really, really awesome. And you're going to be able to earn 50 to 200% yield on your Luna. But we have to talk about the markets first because it is a crazy day at the moment. Let's get straight into the show. So the talk of the town right now is Bitcoin. We've had a massive 8% pump up from the 38K level to the 41.7K level. It's really nice to see. Finally, we're getting some volume back in Bitcoin on the hourly. You see a big spike in volume. If we go across to the 4-hourly chart, we can also see that a little bit of volume is now coming in, which is great to see. And we are getting a push upwards in the Bitcoin price. And alts are following quite nicely alongside Bitcoin. So it's good to see after a few days of downwards momentum that we're getting some volume back in this market. And it's just a reminder of how quickly things can actually change right now. And just as quickly as prices can go down, they can also go up. So we have to stay on our toes and anticipate these moves as they come. Why did the Bitcoin price pump? Well, it's for two reasons that I want to outline right now. The first reason for the Bitcoin price pumping was the NASDAQ. We did see the NASDAQ at the end of the day actually tick upwards, and we're seeing the NASDAQ 100 futures now ticking upwards over 1%. So we're seeing a little bit of strength in the stock market, which obviously correlates well to crypto, because right now the Bitcoin price is still following the NASDAQ to an extent. Obviously, we've seen times where Bitcoin is decoupled, but for the most part, Bitcoin is still following what these tech stocks are doing. So the NASDAQ going up does bode well for Bitcoin because now we're able to see a bit of volume coming into the crypto market. But there was another really big piece of news, which was one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, why we got this pump. And that is the news to do with Biden's executive order. Some documents were actually leaked from the Treasury, which outline how Biden is going to be approaching this executive order. They were removed shortly after, but I do have a little screenshot here of the documents that were leaked. So it was a statement by the Secretary of the Treasury, who is Janet, on the President Biden's executive order on digital assets. And pretty much this order is saying that, if we read between the lines here, that the US wants to regulate the crypto industry and not destroy the industry. It kind of hinted towards regulation being a good thing, and I believe that as well, because it does pave the way for institutions to come in. Without crypto regulation, it's really impossible that we can advance as an industry. We need the big fish, the big players of this industry to come in and really support this market if we are to grow significantly in the future. We always talk about major price targets for Bitcoin, 500K, $1 million. That can only happen if institutional money flows into crypto. So having an executive order like this, I actually think can be viewed as quite a bullish thing for the crypto market in general. And I also view regulation as a bullish thing in general. However, if it's done in the wrong way, it can severely limit the market potential. But this statement that was leaked kind of suggests that they're going to be taking more of an easy approach to easing into the Bitcoin regulation. So that is one of the reasons why we did get the pump today. It was a combination of the NASDAQ performing quite strongly on the futures, and also this executive order coming through. And a lot of people are saying, well, it might not be as bad for crypto as we initially thought. As that document was leaked, people started to realize that, and that was a very good sign. The altcoins, however, are responding well as well. This is pretty much a Bitcoin-led run right now. Bitcoin is up 8%, and Bitcoin dominance is up 1.6%. So we are seeing the Bitcoin dominance increasing, which indicates to me that Bitcoin is leading the pump here. We saw Bitcoin pumping alongside Bitcoin dominance, and that's usually a very good sign that we are sitting in the right place of the cycle right now. We always want to see Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance pumping together because that indicates strength is coming back into the market. You have to remember with crypto that the big coins go first. Your Bitcoins, your Ethereum, your major alts, they usually lead the market because mass capital inflow is attracted to assets like Bitcoin, and then those assets then flow down into the rest of the market. So we have to look at the Bitcoin price and the major alts to kind of get an idea for where we're sitting at the moment. So it's very good to see that the Bitcoin dominance is increasing, in my opinion. But the altcoins, they are equally performing just as well. We can see massive gains across the board from the alts. We see Secret up 14%. Phantom up 5% today after it was struggling a little bit. Omi 25%. Dot 6%. Solana 5.6%. We have Arweave up 17%. Arweave's one of my biggest holdings as well, so that's really nice to see. Arweave pumping as well. So we're seeing a lot of the alts really gain in strength as well, alongside Bitcoin. Once again, the market is slightly lagging behind Bitcoin, with the Bitcoin dominance up 1.5%, but we are seeing some strength come back into the alts. And there is one altcoin, of course, which is performing stronger than the rest of the pack, and it's very obvious. It's in a big bubble, and that is Luna. And when I say bubble, I don't mean the prices in the bubble. I mean, this bubble is looking quite big because it's taking up a lot of real estate with a 20% increase on the day. So the Luna price has been one of the strongest performers over the last couple of months, and especially the last few weeks. Luna is really one of the strongest performers in this market, and we're seeing that again today. Whenever Bitcoin pumps, Luna just seems to pump way harder, and that indicates to me that it is still the main narrative, or one of the main narratives in crypto right now. When Bitcoin's going up 8% and Luna's going up 20%, and then Luna's dropping less than Bitcoin when Bitcoin drops, which is what's been happening, it indicates to me that it is a very strong narrative. And what is actually driving this narrative? It is the UST adoption. That is the main thing that's driving this Luna narrative right now. We all know that every time a UST is minted, one equivalent dollar worth of Luna is burnt. So pretty much the more UST is adopted, the more Luna is burnt, which puts more supply pressure on the Luna token. So in order for the Luna token to succeed, you're essentially betting on the success of UST. And the UST narrative is so strong because it's a decentralized stablecoin. So whereas things like Tether are under the scrutiny of regulators, something like UST can still perform quite strongly in this environment because it's decentralized. And we're seeing a lot of players starting to realize the power of having these decentralized stablecoins. And it's one of the main reasons why UST is performing better than the rest right now. And its market cap is significantly increasing. I did cover this last week, but we can see that the market cap went from 2 billion like 6 months ago all the way up to 14 billion. And at this pace, we could continue to see the UST adoption increasing to reaching potentially the $50 billion to $100 billion level by the end of the year. And that's pretty conservative, in my opinion, based on the growth we've seen so far. But what's actually driving this UST adoption? Because people aren't just buying UST for the sake of buying UST, or minting UST, I should say. There's actually catalysts that are causing the UST price to perform well in terms of market cap. And the first catalyst that happened a couple of days ago was actually the FTX listing. So FTX is now supporting native Terra UST, which means you can withdraw UST and Terra on the Terra blockchain. This is a big step forward. Obviously, the more exchanges that have native support for UST, the better and the more solid the whole ecosystem is. So it's a good sign that FTX is now supporting native Terra UST, and it was one big piece of news that actually broke, which is quite bullish for the ecosystem. We know FTX is a major platform and one of the biggest exchanges in crypto, so it's good that we finally have UST support, and it's just that one next step in finally getting the global adoption of UST to get where it needs to be. But there was another piece of news which actually stuck out to me and kind of slipped under the radar a little bit. Not a lot of people were talking about this, but I think it's equally as important. And it was the onboarding of UST to Aave. So it's not official yet, but there was a snapshot that took place, a governance vote, which suggests that UST is actually going to be launching on Aave and onboarding onto the Aave chain, which will enable you to have native UST borrowing, lending on Aave, which is the biggest borrowing and lending platform in DeFi. So I think that is a really positive sign as well. And I'll show you the snapshot right now. We can see that 384,000 votes voted yes for UST on Aave, and only 950 said no. So it's pretty much guaranteed that this is happening. Usually with Aave deployments, we see a little delay. Usually we see a few months of a delay between a snapshot and an implementation. So I'm expecting this to implement itself maybe in the next few months, but it's still very, very bullish that we are getting this on Aave finally, and we're getting this UST adoption. So those are just a couple things that were announced over the past couple of days, a couple of reasons why UST adoption has been so strong, but we actually are seeing this now reflecting in the Luna price. And this is the major reason why Luna's been performing so well. It's because of this UST adoption, and we can see that the burn on Luna is growing exponentially. So the more UST that are minted, the more Luna is burnt, and we are seeing that in real time. If you go into terra.smartstake.io, you can see the Luna circulating supply changes. And we can see here that every day we're burning around 1.5 million Luna tokens. So every day, day after day, we're burning more Luna as UST continues to grow. So we could go over the past few weeks. This is 5-day plots right here. We could see an average of 1.5 million burnt last week. Even we got a 2.4 million burn of Luna the week before. The week before that, we saw a day over 2 million as well. So we're seeing this massive supply change in the negative direction for Luna. Obviously, that means that the supply of Luna is decreasing, which is pushing the price up, but it also means that demand is increasing. Now, that might not necessarily make sense because you might be saying, well, if supply is decreasing, then how does that affect demand? But it affects demand because of the narrative in crypto. If people anticipate a supply crunch, they're going to bet on that narrative. And I'm thinking that is what's happening with the Luna price at the moment. People know that the supply crunch is coming. So before it even happens, people are kind of front running this narrative by purchasing Luna. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I wouldn't say this is a buy the rumor, sell the news type situation, because this supply squeeze will happen over a long period of time. I have like a 2 to 3 to 5 year horizon before we see some of these changes implementing themselves. But it is interesting that we are starting to see some demand side factors now playing this narrative alongside the supply side, which is very powerful. But you guys have Luna in your wallets. We all know on this channel, we love Luna. I love Luna. It's one of my biggest holdings. I know Rand loves Luna. It's one of his biggest holdings as well. But how can we play this Luna narrative? How can we actually stake our Luna to be able to earn yield? That is the major question. And I want to answer that today with a brand new strategy. So I've talked about liquid staking on Luna before. I went through Lido Finance. I went through State of Finance last week. But now we have a new option which actually looks better in my opinion, because you can earn more yield and it's more of an innovative tokenomics model than the other farms. And I'll be revealing that to you guys right now. And a lot of you have already been guessing this in the comments, but it is Prism. Prism just launched yesterday. They launched their new farm, and Prism Protocol is a way that you can earn 60% on your Luna with no impermanent loss. 40% APR compounding into X Prism. And if you boost your rewards, you can earn up to 200% plus APR. I've literally seen people earning 250% APR using Prism Protocol, but it is quite complicated. It's not the most simple thing to wrap your head around, but once you get it, it is amazing. Once you kind of understand how it works, it is one of the best ways to stake your Luna at the moment, because you can earn between 40 and a couple 100% APR, which is one of the most lucrative yields in crypto if we're considering the Terra blockchain. So I'll be breaking down exactly how you can stake your Luna in Prism, the pros and cons of staking in Prism, and also I will be kind of catering these strategies for different risk tolerances, because not everyone has a huge risk appetite. And also some people would prefer to take more risk to earn more yield. So it depends on your risk tolerance, this strategy. But I'll be going down what I'm personally doing on Prism, how I'm playing it. And then I'll give you a few more options how to be able to stake on Prism. So we need to break down the basics of Prism first, because it can be quite complicated to wrap your head around at first. So the major thing we have to talk about firstly is cLuna. So cLuna is actually the peg to the price of Luna. So the price of cLuna and Luna should always be roughly the same. And we can see this at the moment. The cLuna price is worth just less than Luna, which is a good sign. So you need to create cLuna, and cLuna will be the price of Luna. So once you stake your Luna in Prism, the only way to redeem your Luna is by using cLuna. So cLuna is the whole essence of this protocol, and that's the first thing we have to break down. cLuna and Luna equals the same. Once you understand that, we can break it down into two more parts. You have pLuna and you have yLuna. So these two tokens are basically the same thing. They are basically, if you combine these two tokens, you get a Luna token. So pLuna and Luna equal one Luna, right? But they've split them up into two different tokens because it allows more flexibility. Usually with liquid staking, we see one token is offered as a means to stake. So on State of Finance, you might stake your Luna and then you get staked Luna. So you only get one token. But what they've done at Prism is said, we can take this staked token and we can split it up into two tokens. pLuna, which is the principal, and Luna, which is the yield. So they're splitting it up into the juicy yield Luna token, and they're also splitting it up into the principal token, which is kind of like the base APR. So they're splitting it up into two tokens. I know it can be complicated to wrap your head around, but that is the essence of it. One Luna plus one yLuna one pLuna plus one yLuna equals one cLuna, which equals one Luna. So I hope you guys can understand that. The pLuna and the yLuna equals a Luna token in terms of value. So that's the first thing we have to wrap our head around to be able to invest in this protocol. So obviously you need a Terra Station wallet to conduct this strategy I'm about to show you. I can't add my Terra Station wallet right now because it causes too much delays on the show, but just pretend I'm using it because you guys will have to use your Terra Station wallet to be able to stake your Luna and get involved in these strategies. There's a lot of alpha here, so let's just break it down. So the first thing you need to do is refract your Luna. So come into Prism and click on refract, and you can put in however many Luna tokens you wish to stake, and that will delegate these tokens into pLuna and yLuna. The value of yLuna is more than the value of pLuna. yLuna is usually around 70% of the Luna, and then 20 to 30% will be your pLuna. So your yLuna is really going to hold most of your Luna tokens, and the pLuna, which is the principal, is going to have that little bit of leftover Luna when you refract. So come into refract and you want to split your Luna into pLuna and yLuna. That is the first step to be able to take advantage of this strategy. Once you've done that, you can head over to stake. So once you've got yLuna in your wallet, you can get involved in these farms. Now you have two farming options on Prism Protocol. You have yLuna staking, which is pretty much the Luna staking that is kind of a proxy to a validator node. So on Luna, you can go and you can stake your Luna on a validator, and you can receive roughly 5 to 8% on your Luna, and you receive airdrops in exchange for staking through a validator. What Prism is doing is it's taking this, it's giving you yLuna, and it is staking your Luna in a validator. So you're still eligible for airdrops, but you can do it through yLuna to earn slightly more yield. Honestly, this isn't the option I'm recommending today. I just wanted to explain that so you guys understand what it does. You will be eligible for airdrops with this pool, but that is not the pool that we want to be in, because that isn't the pool, that isn't the Degen play here. That isn't the play where you'll be earning the most yield, and it's also not the best risk reward play either, because you can earn much more yield in the Prism Farm. Now, the Prism Farm is what I would recommend as your basis for staking your Luna. So I'll just quickly break down what the Prism Farm is on this Medium article so you guys understand, and then I will show you how to be able to stake on the Prism Farm. This Medium article is very, very good. It goes through step-by-step how to stake on this protocol. So after this video, this link will be in the description, and you can use this as a tool to refer back to if you're ever stuck, because they do a good job at explaining it in written form. So the Prism Farm allows you to stake your yLuna. So just as I showed you with refracting, staking your Luna, you will get yLuna in exchange. So this yLuna that you now received, you can then stake in the Prism Farm. You can't actually stake your pLuna in the farm. So obviously your Luna is split up into pLuna and yLuna. The token that you will be staking in the farm is yLuna. So your pLuna, I would recommend just keeping in your wallet, forgetting about it, because you can do stuff with your pLuna and you can earn yield on it, but the safest play would be to keep pLuna in your wallet and simply stake yLuna, and I'll explain those reasons in a minute. But you can stake your Luna in the Prism Farm and receive Prism tokens in exchange. So the major difference between these two pools is the yLuna staking, you're receiving Luna in exchange. In the Prism Farm, you're receiving Prism in exchange. Prism is the governance token of the Prism protocol, and it's what rewards are paid in, and it's what you can stake to boost your rewards. So that is the token you'll be earning in the Prism Farm, but of course you can swap this back for Luna. There's no rules on where you delegate your rewards. So the Prism Farm consists of 130 million Prism tokens, which is 30% of the supply, which will be available over a 12-month period. So there'll only be 12 months of emissions in the Prism Farm. And this is why these kind of strategies are time sensitive, because you want to be able to get in and take advantage whilst you still can. So it's got a 12-month period where you'll be able to earn Prism in this farm, and that is 130 million tokens, which will be delegated through the farm on Prism. So this is how you do it. Obviously, you've already refracted your Luna for pLuna and yLuna. You then come into the Prism Farm and you click stake. What staking in the Prism Farm enables you to do is start earning this 49% yield. The 49% yield is the base APR. So with your yLuna, you'll be earning 49%. You can obviously boost it to earn more, but this is the base APR that you'll be earning for staking yLuna. It's very, very simple. You come into this Prism Farm, you click stake, and you can stake your yLuna to start earning Prism in exchange. I like doing this because you're keeping your pLuna safe, and then you're able to stake your yLuna. Why do you want to keep your pLuna safe and not stake it, in my opinion? It's because pLuna is the token that you need to receive your Luna back. So when you refract your Luna for pLuna and yLuna, what you're actually doing is you're splitting it up into these two tokens. But in order to get your Luna back, what you'll need to do is you'll need to have your pLuna and have your yLuna and put them together to receive your Luna back in the refract pool on Prism. So it is very important that you keep your pLuna, because if you don't, you run the risk of the pLuna changing in value. And if the pLuna increases in value, you're essentially suffering in permanent loss. But in this case, you won't be able to redeem all your Luna. So when you have Luna and you put it into the refract pool, what you're doing is you're essentially splitting it up. And you'll need those tokens to be able to redeem your Luna again. So be very careful about doing anything with your pLuna, because you don't want to be too risky with it. You can stake it. I can discuss that in another video for you degens out there, but I'll just be holding it in my wallet and just dealing with the yLuna here, because the yLuna is, one, the majority of your Luna holdings, and two, where you get the best yields. So obviously you earn your 49.1% Luna here, and you can stake it in this farm to be able to earn yield. This is what I would personally do, and this is what I would be doing with my yLuna to earn this yield. It's very simple. In order to get your Luna tokens back, there is a 21-day waiting period. So you can earn tokens through earning rewards here. But if you want to get your Luna tokens back that you've staked, obviously by putting pLuna and yLuna together, there is a 21-day period. So just be aware, once you enter this farm, you will need to wait a little bit before you can withdraw your funds. That's just how the Luna blockchain works. So that is basically the gist of this farm. It's very simple. But there is also something better that we can do, and this is the real play here. So yes, you're earning your 49.41% APR, and you're earning Prism tokens here as a reward. But you guys obviously want to know what to do with these Prism tokens, right? Because you're earning Prism tokens, you can now use these to boost your rewards in the Prism farm. So this is how I would split it up. You stake your yLuna and you start earning the 49% APR. 50% of those tokens I'm personally putting back into yLuna. So this is a much safer way to do it, because then you are stacking half of your tokens back into Luna and you're not having to worry about the risk. The other 50% of your tokens you could be a little bit riskier with and use those 50% of rewards to stake Prism. And what staking Prism enables you to do is boost your rewards in the Prism farm. So I'm putting half of my rewards back into Prism and I'm staking them to earn yield. You can actually do 100% here, because when you think about yLuna and you think about pLuna, it equals 1 Luna, right? So you're kind of getting a free reward for staking. So by staking your Luna, you are getting Prism tokens essentially for free. It's just the opportunity cost of staking somewhere else. So that is basically how I'm doing it. I'm putting half back into Luna and half back into the Prism tokens. Now I'll explain how the boosts work, because you can get a much higher APR than the 49% base by using these Prism tokens as a way to boost your yield. So what you can do is you can take these Prism tokens and use it in the boosted pool. So what the boosted vault does is it enables you to earn amps, and amps are pretty much your tool for boosting your tokens. And I'll run you through step by step how to do that right now. So you receive Prism tokens as a reward for staking yLuna. We got that step down. Now you go into the govern section of Prism Protocol and you can click stake, and you can stake the Prism tokens that you've earned. What staking Prism does under this govern tab here is it enables you to get X Prism. X Prism is the governance token of Prism, and this will enable you to be able to boost your pools to earn more yield on your yLuna. I know it's complicated, but just follow me here. So you've earned these Prism rewards and you are staking them under this Prism farm here to be able to get X Prism. Once you have X Prism, you can come into the Amps Vault. Now the Amps Vault is the way that you boost your rewards. So in the Amps Vault, you click pledge. Now, what you're doing with this is you're pledging your cLuna in the Amps Vault to boost your rewards. So you've taken your rewards, which are Prism, you're getting X Prism for staking them under the Govern tab, and then you're taking that X Prism and you're pledging it in the Amps Vault. What pledging it does is it enables you to boost your rewards on your original pool. So remember this pool that I showed you originally, this Prism Farm where you're earning 50% on your yLuna. This pool, the same pool, you can boost by taking advantage of this Amps Vault. So by getting your Prism rewards and staking them in here under pledge, you can then get access to boosting. Now, what you need to do is you need to come in every day or every week, however long you want to do in terms of your time, and you want to come in and click this lightning bolt. Every time you click this lightning bolt, it will take the apps that you've accrued and it will activate them to boost your rewards. So by staking your X Prism, you are earning apps tokens. Yes. So by staking your Prism, you're getting X Prism, and then you're pledging that in this vault, and you're earning AMPS tokens. But in order to activate those tokens to be able to boost your rewards, you need to click this little lightning bolt here. I obviously can't because I don't have AMPS in my wallet, but if you do have AMPS that you accrue from having Prism in the wallet, then you can click this lightning bolt here and boost your rewards. Then if you come back into the original Prism farm that you just staked in, you can see the boost that you get. So under your AMPS APR, you'll see the boost that you're getting on top of the base. So the base is no boosting. That's just staking yLuna that you got from staking your Luna. Simple. Your AMPS APR is the percentage that you're getting for the boost that you're executing through the Govern tab under the AMPS vault. So this is the excess APR that you can earn. I've seen people earning up to 200% plus APR on this vault. It can be absolutely insane and very, very lucrative. But I wouldn't be aping into Prism tokens right now because we see the price is very high. So the play here isn't to ape into Prism right now unless you've got a very high risk tolerance. It's actually taking your rewards from the yLuna Prism vault and then putting a percentage into X Prism so you can earn apps. You can do all of your Prism. It's completely up to you. I like 50-50, but if you want to do all your Prism tokens, that's great because then you're able to earn a very nice APR, which will be over 200% plus in some cases. And over time, as people accrue more Prism tokens, obviously the rewards will go down. Yes, this happens in most DeFi protocols, but you'll also be accruing more tokens, so your relative rewards will be higher. So I know it's a very complicated protocol to kind of wrap your head around. That is exactly why I will be doing a thread straight after this video. Within the next few hours, I will be pinning a thread. So the link in my description to my Twitter is there, and you can look at that at the pinned thread. In around 2 hours after this goes live, I will be breaking down step by step what I talked about in this video. And if you also need more support, I will leave the link to the Medium article in the description, and that article runs you through step by step of how to stake. Just be wary of the risk, guys. The risks is you need your pLuna and your yLuna to be able to get your Luna back, so just remember that. And the other risk is there is a 21-day period where you won't be able to refract again to get your Luna back. So there is that period. The most important thing to understand about this entire protocol is that 1 Luna equals 1 cLuna, and then pLuna plus yLuna equals cLuna, which equals Luna. If that makes sense. I know it's complicated, but once you get the hang of it, I actually think this strategy is very simple to execute. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. I think it is an amazing strategy to take advantage of what is happening in the Terra ecosystem right now. We haven't seen a protocol come out like this in quite a while. We've seen liquid staking, but what they're doing with dividing that up into the principal and the yield-bearing tokens is very interesting, and it kind of offers a new perspective on the liquid staking, and also what they're doing with the boosting is super unique as well because it incentivizes people to stay on the platform and stake. Thank you guys for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you tomorrow at the exact same time. Peace out.